There's nothing like binge watching a show in your drawers, on the couch, eating some snacks, scratching your ass. So I just finished Stranger Things season 3. I watched the other 2 seasons, but I didn't do reviews on season 1 and 2 because I almost don't know how to talk about this show. Stranger Things, for some reason, it loses me a lot. It's a good show. There's a lot of hardcore fans of the show. I'm not a Stranger Things enthusiast and nothing like that. I do like the show though. The show has such a charm to it where I can sit and watch it. I'm a sucker for nostalgia. If you watch my videos and my channel, you know how I'm a sucker for nostalgia. Anything that has to do with the 80s, I'm down for it. And there's 80s, not sprinkled, man, but they douse the 80s all over this show. And season 3 is no exception. Season 3 on this show has probably got the most 80s Easter eggs ever. Like, just the small little details of everything from the 80s that I grew up with. I'm like, oh my God, I remember that cereal. I remember those mom and pop video stores. Like, I remember those shoes. Like, there was just so much in there where this show is just fucking charming to me. So for those that are real big fans of the show, you're probably not going to like my review too much because I know I'm going to be off about some things, but I'm just giving my honest opinion of what I saw on the show, what I liked and what I disliked. So let's get into this shit. Season 3 takes place, I believe, a few months after season 2, where Elle closed the portal. Supposedly those things from the upside down, I think that's what it's called, are gone. It's over with. But nah. It's a Stranger Thing, so you know something gets left behind, sets up for another season. So now this season pops off with some Russians. So I guess the Russians have this machine that can, I guess, open the portal back up to the upside down. Then it goes to the town in Indiana. I forgot what the name of the town is called, but you know what, where the kids are. This new mall opens up, and all these little stores, all these small businesses are closing down because of this mall. Damn, I guess foreshadowing of what's to come, Walmart. So this mall opens up, and like reminiscent of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, they show a montage of all the stores in the mall and the food court and everything. They even have a Taco Bell coming soon sign there. So it's just littered with 80s shit that I was just like, wow, like this takes me back. Even the old multiplexes back in the day, you know, when the multiplexes came out, and 85 was actually a good fucking year for movies. You had Commando, First Blood Part 2, Rocky 4, The Goonies, Back to the Future, Weird Science, The Breakfast Club, so many classic joints in 85. There's 9 episodes in this season. So when the first episode started, I was like, okay, I'm into this, I'm engaged, I'm watching it. And then about, say, second or third episode, it started to lose me because you have the core group of kids, we know with Mike and the kid with no teeth and the one black kid, and then Will, the one that got kidnapped in the first season, okay? You have that core group, and then they kind of split up, and then you have the other characters, which I guess is the older siblings to the kids, you know, to these Goonies or whatever. That's what I want to call them, the Goonies. It was just a lot of side stuff going on where after a while I found myself in my phone, like, you know, searching for shit. So I was lost a lot of the way. So I had to go back and kind of read the synopsis to keep myself caught back up again. I even tried to watch episode over again to see what I missed because it was starting to lose me. But then I got to the place where I said, you know what? I don't care anymore. Look, I just want to see more 80s shit. I want to see stuff with this alien or whatever the hell it is. I don't know if it's an alien or it's just from another dimension, I'm assuming. And the stuff with Elle and her using her powers, I wanted to see that shit. Everything else I could care less about, to be honest with you. The love story between Elle and Mike, I dug. That teenage love shit, I was all for that. I mean, I've been there before. I was a 14-year-old kid once too, you know, chasing after these girls and shit and first kiss and everything. So it was cool seeing their budding relationship. Hopper, Elle's pops, he's seeing this, so that the kids are in the room being fresh with each other, listening to music and everything, and he kind of like leans back in his chair like, hey, what y'all back there doing? And Elle, you know, closes the door. She uses her telekinesis and closes the door in his face, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I like seeing the little budding teenage romance because I was there before too, but then I'm seeing it through the eyes of Hopper because I'm a father myself. I have a teenage daughter now, and look, ain't no dude's gonna be touching her for a while. You know what I mean? Not till they put a ring on her finger. When she's like 50 or 60, she can have her first kiss. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. The CG, I think the CG on this season was freaking crisp. Like, the CG on season 1 and 2 was pretty cool also, but this was like movie worthy. This was like motion picture worthy shit that you would see in the theater. That's how good the CG was on these creatures, and it was just so. I'm like, wow. Like, there was a couple of scenes where it was just so beautiful to look at, even though it was kind of gross, like, because the creature is really gross. But when you see the creature and, you know, the battle that they have, I was like, damn. I'm like, I forgot it was a Netflix show. I thought I was watching a major fucking motion picture. Summing this up, man, CG was on point. The story I really couldn't follow. You know, there was some elements of the story that I liked. The stuff with Mike and Elle, and then Joyce and Hopper. And, you know, the battle at the end and everything. So I'll say, you know, without spoiling it, I'll say that the first episode grabbed my attention. The first couple episodes grabbed my attention. And then the rest of the time, with all the side stuff going, all the side stories and stuff, it lost me. And then episodes 8 and 9 is where it picked up for me again. So, grading this season of Stranger Things, I say this is probably, I don't know, I haven't seen the other seasons in a long time, so it's hard for me to compare them, but I'll say that up until episode 8, this show was like a C to me. It was a C because it really didn't hold my interest. I really didn't care a whole lot what was going on. But those last two episodes were crazy. I was like, okay, this is what, you know, I've come to see. Like, this is the stuff that I wanted. And especially that last episode. That last episode was intense. It was some scary shit in there. And then also some emotional stuff, because when it went off, I found myself getting a little choked up. Like, I almost teared up and cried. You know what I mean? And I know you're saying, man, this big nigga always crying over something, man. Quit being so sensitive. I'm sorry. I'm a big softy at heart, man. Stuff makes me cry. I'm sorry. That last episode had me emotional. That last, the battle with the monster was crazy. The effects was on point. Like, you know, it was a C. I say it was like a C minus up until episode 8. But because of episode 8 and 9, I'm giving Stranger Things season 3, I give it a B+. Yeah, it bumped up that much just because those last 2 episodes really got me. And if I do decide to watch this season again, I think I'm going to skip right to those last 2 episodes because that shit was crazy. But yeah, man, it does set up for a 4th season, so there's going to be a season 4, I believe, and I'm going to watch it because as long as they stay in the 80s and they keep giving me 80s nostalgia, I'm watching it even though I don't really too much care about the story. So that's pretty much all I got to say about Stranger Things. I know this is probably not an in-depth review and everything about, you know, these characters and the meat of it and, you know, the art and everything. And I'm just telling you, just as a person who sat and watched this show, I watched it, I turned it off, and I turned the camera on, and I'm telling you what the hell I thought about it. So I didn't have time to really dissect this shit like a lot of, you know, critics like to do. But I'm just telling you, you know, off the bat how I felt about it. It's a good watch. If you're a fan of Stranger Things, I think you're gonna have nerdgasms all over yourself. If you're, you know, a modest fan like myself, I say that you still will enjoy it. If you don't too much care for stuff like this, this probably ain't gonna be your cup of tequila, man. So that's all I got, man. B+ for Stranger Things season 3. What did you guys think about it, man? Comment freely below. Thank you for watching. As always, this is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.